CPS were here, I would say shame on you.
This is a story of Oswego County Child Protective Services failing yet another family. 4 a.m., December 15th, 2021. A house in Oswego County was on fire.
Heavy fire, got smoke showing, two-story wood frame structure.
Angela Rosenbaum and her sons, Bryce and Lance, were inside. To escape, Bryce jumped out his second-story window, landing hard on the ground. He ran to a neighbor who called 911.
We're now speaking with the occupant of the residence. Says he saw smoke and jumped out the window. His name is Bryce Dotson. As far as he knows, his mother and his brother are still inside the house.
Ambulance into the scene, 354 County Line Road.
Angela did not make it out. She died in the first-floor bedroom. She was 43.
I've got one victim by the front door. I'm unable to get him. There's too much smoke.
A sheriff's deputy and a state trooper dragged Lance out the front door by his feet as hot plastic dripped down from above.
I don't believe anyone of his size and stature would have been able to get that door open. It took three of us. There was trash items in front of the door, so it was blocking an egress point.
Dispatch, Mineral 11 arrives. Can you get the hospital status in Syracuse, please?
Most of Lance's body was burned. He died the next day. He was 13. The house was filled with trash. The heating oil had run out, and the family used space heaters to stay warm.
So there was no way, in my opinion, to say that, it was a sanitary environment.
Neighbors, family, coaches, even the landlord knew something wasn't right at home. They all called Child Protective Services for help.
The kids were in danger from day one, and they knew it. They were told. I told them everything that they needed to know. There's tons. And they just brushed it off.
They said the boys had not been to school in a year. They never left the house. Angela was sending alarming texts to her adult son and parents in Virginia. She said she was afraid the house would burn down.
And like Bryce said, he said, Mommy was sick, but I didn't know what to do. You could tell Angie was out of her head. Why didn't y'all do something? We'd have come got them anytime. We heard that they didn't go to school. Social services let us down, I can tell you that. We contacted them, tried to get a wellness check. It was terrible. What do you do?
Caseworkers opened 5 cases over 3 years to investigate complaints. According to a state review, every time they closed the case without acting.
They just came to the door and asked if we're okay. Said yeah, and then they just left.
They didn't follow up with school. They didn't interview the boys about what was really going on at home. Angela's oldest son, Hunter, didn't live in New York, but he worried for his brother's health and safety. He called CPS and the police several times.
They didn't do their job. They never checked inside the house or anything like that. I mean, it's crazy.
After the fire, 17-year-old Bryce moved to Virginia to live with his grandparents. After living in Oswego County, Bryce seemed different.
Quiet. Real malnutrition. I mean, he weighed about 110 pounds, soaking wet. You could tell he hadn't eaten nothing.
Every time I went to the door, she would say, the kids are sleeping. I got to the point where I hadn't seen the kids in months. Do you ever see a drink like, what do they call it, Kickstart? She was ordering that by the case and feeding it to the kids, and they're up all night and sleeping during the day.
Caseworkers missed a lot of opportunities to help the family.
I've seen CPS there multiple times, so I figured they didn't investigate properly. Had they come back and got entry in the house, they would have seen the horrific conditions.
Well, when we went up there and get him, he didn't know what shoe size he wore. He didn't know what size clothes he wore. 18 months, they hadn't even been out of the house.
We didn't really go to a dentist, so I had a bunch of cavities. So I wanted them fixed.
It's sad because we loved her and she didn't want that love. We loved Lance and Bryce, and they was everything to us. You got a social services, but you know the rules. You know they're supposed to go once a month to check on people, and they don't do it. she had a mental problem. I mean, it was clear.
They know they messed up.
Sad, very sad. I think it could have been prevented.
Oswego County Social Services Commissioner Stacy Alvord declined to be interviewed, but she sent a statement to syracuse.com that said they do not have the staff to conduct timely and thorough investigations.
Hey, my two little brothers are in danger. What do I need to do? What is everybody supposed to do? You're supposed to call 911, right? You're supposed to call the people that's going to help you. I did that. You see what it is? You see what it's got me. And if that continues to happen, you're going to continue to get cases like this.